Yo, what's up? What up, y'all? This is just talk show tonight, man. We just doing our little thing like we always do. And we want to introduce the fellas. And first off, let's say what's up to the people out there, man. How everybody doing? We want to always send good vibes out to everybody and make everybody feel good. And just introduce everybody in the pod tonight, man. You got your boy MJ, got SG, got the professor, we got JR, we got probably a couple more fellas that normally be with us is gonna join AJ and maybe Ziggy, a couple guys. But yeah, tonight, man, we got a special little lineup. We had a special request from one of our subscribers, man, that kind of gave us a good topic to talk about, and that's this kind of thing that we talking about on Just Talk Podcast. We're versatile podcast. We like to talk about a lot. So one of our subscribers actually asked us to talk about trauma, and also as it relates to what the trauma that we're going through after the pandemic. The pandemic put us, into a mode of a lot of us into a mode of depression and a state of anxiety and stuff like that. There's actually been a 25%, and this is a a a stat that I got offline, that there's a 25% increase in depression and anxiety after the pandemic, and also this relates to trauma because it's like post-traumatic stress and things of that nature that you go through after through a traumatic experience. So yeah, we're gonna run that tonight. We're gonna definitely talk about it, and we're gonna let the fellas speak their part on it. I'm just speaking a little bit, just kind of get us rounded up and let us know what we're talking about. And our next topic we're gonna talk about, just kind of keep you interested, is the BMF story since Big Meech is released. We want to just kind of speak about that and kind of talk about the impact Big Meat's gonna have, and also we're gonna get into a little politics, y'all. So just hold on to your horses. We're gonna try to make sure we keep it PC. So yeah, first off, man, like I said, we're gonna talk about trauma as it relates, and whatever you guys got to say about trauma, man, it's cool. But we basically want to keep it to after the time frame or the time to where after the pandemic and the effects that it had on us after the pandemic. So SG or anybody, y'all want to speak on it?
What up? This is SG, internet the new block on your brother, not your op. You know what I mean? I just want to say greetings to everybody in the chat. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and let one of the other brothers take over tonight. You know what I mean? Speak to it. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say what's up.
Yeah, everybody
Good
say what.
evening, brother. Good evening, brother. This is Junior, all the way from the Jacktown. Just want to give everybody a shout out.
It's your boy Ray, aka the Professor, aka Anna Hannibal, aka what I'm saying, get it done. Uh, just want to say how y'all doing out there in America. We out here.
That's what's up.
Word, word.
Yeah, I guess I and just speaking on a serious topic, man, because trauma can affect us a lot of ways, man. I mean, because like I spoke about a few minutes ago, it can lead to post traumatic stress and also lead to other psychological behaviors have no effect. I mean, no aware of sometimes. Sometimes your trauma can put you through a certain mode like flight or fight mode. And also, as we have that definition up there, I'll still freestyle a little bit and talk about it. Uh, Flight or fight mode. Also, it makes you act a certain way from your anxiety and also from the things that you may or may not do in your everyday life, and how you may or may not trust people, talk to people, and because when you going through some when you have post traumatic stress, or when you went through a traumatic experience, it can make you shut down. It can make you feel like you don't want to talk to anybody. It can put you through a lot of things psychologically. So, as that definition, you know, um, you know, I think that people need to be aware of it, and we need to, knowing is half the battle, like they used to say on GI Joe. But that was so true, because once you are aware of it, you know how to, go ahead and ask for help if you need help, or you sometimes can go within, pray, whatever you need to do, and that's really what you do. You know, you kind of just go within, soul search, and kind of just make sure you fix your mind because a lot of times you can talk to people and you can read books and you can get new information, meet new friends, get into new activities. You know, if you're a religious person, go back to church or go to church and talk to your pastor or your other church members or whatever. But if you're just an everyday person, you just you just a person that just ain't got too much support. Like I said, go within and talk to yourself sometime. I mean, you don't answer yourself because it makes you look crazy, but talk with yourself and talk to God because really God, you know, is it's a personal relationship between you and that voice inside your head. A lot of times, that voice inside your head is, you know, like they say, you got the good thing on your shoulder, you got the bad thing on your shoulder, and you have a voice of God. Some people will really hear the voice of God or the spirit, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know whatever religion or background you have, you might want to say it's something else. But however you see it, go within and just try to better yourself because a lot of times these things can help you by just trying to know it, realize it, do better, and try to achieve more things in life, and that'll help you forget about the bad experiences you go through, and also, you know, um, just getting with your loved ones and making sure that everybody's okay, because that's how you fix your mind. I think just by getting through the things that you do daily and making sure that you not forget about it all the way, but first off, forgive yourself and try to forget about it to the point to where it doesn't affect you and it doesn't bother you to that point to where, yeah, I remember that happened, but man, it doesn't, because you can harden your heart, as they say, to a point to where it doesn't affect you and you can just roll on. But I'll let one of the other guys talk about it for a minute. Jr. Professor, if one of you guys want to speak on it, you got to unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'll go and speak to it. Trauma is whatever you define it as. Everyone has experienced it in life, whether you're going through the I didn't have my daddy growing up syndrome, or if you're the young lady that got raped coming up and you never told anyone. Everyone has extra baggage that they're managing, whether it's some type of depression, bipolar, schizophrenia. These are the people you're working side by side with at the Walmart, at the local gas station that you run into, or the person that may be checking you out at the service station. So just know that that is something that affects everybody because everybody has family dynamics that they may or may not want to deal with because of the excitability or the the unawareness of what's going on with them family members to the point whereas it could cause you bodily harm. Everyone is dealing with this in life, whether it's from childhood, whether if they're dealing with it from the pandemic. Everyone's dealing with something. That's why I say don't try to catch a man on his bad day because that might be the day that broke the camel's back. And they like, oh, why did he flip off like that? Well, that might have been the straw that just broke the camel's back because he had just had enough of the cheating from his woman, from the line at work, from the manager shorting his hours, from whatever external factor may be associated with that brother at that time or that sister at that time. For a young lady to go to a young man's job and kill him spontaneously while he's at work. All these factors. It's everything that's going on, whether it's drugs, whether it's money, whether it's sex, everything is monetized now, so it can be all three of the ones I just mentioned before. But dealing with the COVID-19 issue, as far as it created isolation among a lot of people, whereas you didn't want don't want to be trusting of people anymore because you've been alone and that time gave you time to reflect and think about your thoughts and what you want to do further in your career. Whereas at a time when everything is going full speed, you don't have that time to isolate yourself from everyone else and then think about you and your goals. So I looked at it as a time as that, as a time of physically, mentally, and spiritually healing myself from all of that. So everyone has to do what's best for them. I practice the mind, body, and the soul. So if I look good, I feel good. If I smell good, I'm perform good. So all of it is all of it is a correlation of the one thing after another. So don't think missing a step is not a factor because it can be. It's a reason it's a 12 step. It's a reason it's a 12 hours in a day from noon back to noon again. Is it's a sequence. So that's just my thing with it. So everyone's dealing with something. So don't don't try to just say that's nothing to you, but it could be historical or monumental on that guy's back. So just think about that when you're being a prick or you're being out of character with yourself. Because somebody's taking a little longer at the gas pump or a little longer at the change register.
Yes, sir. I agree with it, man. Great take. Great take. SG or the professor, you guys got a take on this one, dog?
I
You
would
want me to
say
get it right? You want to go first?
uh, if you want to go SG, that's fine. I can hold.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm glad CJ brought that up about how people acting in results at the gas station or whatever at the line. Cause trauma is a weird thing, man. I kind of describe it as like if you got a rubber band and you stretch it to the point to where it finally just snapped. You know what I mean? You got several different forms of trauma. You got physical trauma where you get in a car wreck and break your back and an injury, and you also have mental trauma. That goes to your mind. And as far as the pandemic is concerned, I went through a lot of trauma, without getting too personal, with relationships and kids and, alcoholism and a lot of different things, finances and everything. And I used to sit back and say to myself, man, you know what, I did go through a lot at this time. I need to take a moment to heal. And that's kind of what I guess our subscriber was saying. How do we move forward as men? We got to be leaders and forefront at the forefront of this thing, kind of, address it, you know what I mean? Us in the black community, we never really, put mental health on the forefront. But we all been going through trauma as a kid, growing up, in the ghetto, shooting and fighting and poverty and all that. And then we get out here and try to live a life, and we've been through so many different relationships and baby mamas and kids and heartbreak and hurt. So we gotta address this thing, this trauma thing, and we gotta take time to heal. And as far as fight or flight, you know what I mean? Either you gonna shut down, run from the situation, or you gonna stand up and fight. It can be a good thing. You can fight at the drive-through line, or you can be more reserved. But I guess when you're looking at the fight or flight, it depends on the scenario. You know what I mean? You have some people that's been through molestation and all that stuff, and they act out to the point where they want to get more promiscuous and stuff like that. Some people turn homosexual and stuff like that. So it's all different types of levels where people respond to trauma. So what y'all guys think about that?
That's what's up, SG, man. It's a good tape. We got TMB Ziggy in the house, man. What's up, man? Just to catch you up. Professor, I'm gonna let you go next, but just to catch you up, Ziggy, man. We just talking about trauma. And we had that subscriber that sent us a message about trauma, and we responded to it and talking about it real quick and just kind of as it relates to the COVID-19 pandemic. We kind of speaking about it after that. If you want to just kind of take it in that direction, you can, or you can just speak about trauma in general. But yes, sir. Go ahead, Professor.
I was like to say, welcome, Ziggy coming in. Uh, this trauma that we experienced from COVID-19 is things that we still can't measure. It's kind of similar to Hurricane Katrina of what it did to the country in relationship to our racial relationships, to our political relationships, because we are 16 days away from that election. We'll get to that later on, but a lot of these things are being affected by the things of the past. And one of the things for me being a historian is that you have to look at the past so you don't repeat the past. Every time you see me in this podcast, you see McNair in the background. That's a person that, you know, was a hero for me, like a Jordan for a lot of people, like Kobe Bryant, you know, R.I.P. Kobe as well. But the thing I'm bringing the McNair relationship to this particular topic is the brother died in a gruesome way. Now the facts are murky, but the point is the trauma that it caused on his family and
So
his
wait a minute, hold on,
family.
hold on. I don't mean to pause you, but did he or did he not commit suicide? I think that's one of the weakest ways to go out, if you ask me.
Okay, brother. If you want to go that route, he did not commit suicide. So let's debunk that nonsense right there. All right, getting back to the point, um, the trauma that it caused to his fans, to the teams that he played for, because he only played for two teams. One, I mean, if you want technical names, it was the Oilers, then it became the Titans, then it became the Ravens or the Cleveland Browns that moved to Baltimore. He played for that team. Um,
All right, hold on. One more time. All right, so if he didn't commit suicide, he was
he
messing
didn't
with a
commit
side
suicide.
chick from my hold on, allegedly was supposedly he was talking to a side chick and she found out about it, or his wife found out about it or something. And I thought for 1 second that one of them either did something to him or he committed suicide. That was what I'm remembering, but I could be wrong. But you got to correct
I'm
me on that. But that's why I want to
I'm gonna
ask you
say
on
this,
that.
nigga. Let the brother get his spill out, man. We don't want to go low vibration with it. Let the brother get his spill out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
main subject for the night, dog, is trauma, and that's what we're speaking to, the trauma that it caused.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
where he was going with it, the trauma that it caused his family. But
yeah,
yeah, as
yeah,
far as what happened to him though, Ziggy, you when you get your turn, because I'm gonna let you go next. Yeah, you can speak about that, and then you and Ray can talk about that. Then let him finish his spiel.
yeah, yeah. You throwing that all the way. You know, you throwing me a curveball that I knock out the park. But come on, just chill out, just chill out. The whole point being is the trauma that was caused. You know, in recent times, in times in the past. You know, for the African American community, we have to understand that this trauma that we don't like to deal with, this mental abuse that we don't like to deal with, this thing that we seeing uh, black women raising the families where the father is absent-minded, and you can say, yeah, I'm the greatest father in the world, whatever the case you may want to, put yourself on, whatever pedestal you want to put yourself on. But one of the first questions you have to ask yourself, if you are that guy that's saying those words, is are you married to the woman that you have children with? You know, and we all are victims of that statistic. But what we have to understand is stop putting this onus on just the black female and not putting the onus on the black male. The black male playing 50% of this game, as well as the female is playing 50% of this game. And for this trauma that we just compounding and adding to what we already go through, is asinine. If we trying to win, let's have some self-reflecting. Let's have some real understanding. And just to piggyback on one other thing, the situation with the brother at the McDonald's that got stabbed to death at work. Not only was his family affected, but all the workers that was in that building, their families are affected as well. And the people that were there at the moment when this took place. Now, whatever those two individuals did outside of that particular building has nothing to do with us, but it became our problem once y'all displayed this type of maturity that was immature at that moment of time. And that's my piece. And Ziggy, when you asked the question about McNair, make sure you got your game right. McNair didn't kill himself. he got killed by supposedly the side chick that he was dating on the side, but she did have a boyfriend. The whole circumstances have not been solidified or corrected, or we don't know. All we know is that the man dead, the girlfriend dead from she committed suicide after she killed him. Is what we know as the official story, and that's my take on that.
Okay,
But
that's where I was getting the suicide part from. My bad, my bad. But still, I feel like he was in the wrong. He got a wife and a whole chick on the side. He shouldn't have been doing neither one. Just get rid of the wife, and then you can have as many chicks on the side as you want. Don't
I
hold up the line for everybody trying to talk to the wife. I'm just saying on the traumatizing part, this is what
yeah,
traumatizes females. Now she ain't gonna want to go out and talk to the next man because she feel like she'd have been cheated on when she didn't gave her all to this man who she thought was gonna, you know what I'm saying, treat her right, be her best friend, tell her if he needs to step out, at least talk to her and have some type of communication. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of relationships go off wrong because they're not communicating. People don't communicate right. I'm not the best. I'm not perfect, but I'm just saying if we communicated more and talk to females and stop trying to hide the hand and throw the rock, you know what I'm saying? And that's vice versa. For this, I think a lot of situations would be better, wouldn't be putting themselves in traumatic situations. Okay, you got females that dress up and got them to be half naked. They say they do it because they want to feel good. But guess what? You just don't know. It's criminals out here that's waiting on you to go out here and do this shit so they can take advantage of you. They gonna get you drunk. They gonna rape you. They gonna do all this whole other little shit, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But I'm just saying, they put themselves in this situation. And I don't have nobody to blame but themselves for doing that because it's a way to stay out of all that shit. You can stay at home, you can stay to yourself, you can do other things, you can go out with a crowd, you can distance yourself from certain things, you can put yourself in an environment where you don't have to worry about them type of things. And that's why I feel like the world is weak on that. You know what I'm saying? That should be it's bullshit. Like they came up with ADHD. That's bullshit. But kids just don't have attention deficit disorder. Come on, man. What kid gonna want to sit there and listen to something that they're not interested in? You know what I'm saying? If it was something I didn't want to know about, guess what? I'm not. It's not probably won't get my $100 attention. But if it's something that has some type of a little bit of significance to what I like or something, yeah, I'm gonna pay a little bit of attention to it. But if it's something I really like, it's just like with a female again, traumatic issues. Okay, say if I'm really liking a female, I'm gonna listen to everything she tell me. I'm gonna know when her birthday is. I'm gonna know her mama and daddy name within the first week. I'm gonna know her kids' name that she got in it and their birthdays. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be really into it. Man, if I'm not into it and she just a female that's passing through, okay, hey, I know your name. Maybe that's it, and maybe a birthday. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your favorite food or something, or favorite color. But all the other stuff is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now breaking it down again, going back to traumatic wise, people are once again weak in the world are making people's minds weaker to think that they have that freedom to, I mean, either be gay and not populate the world, or you know what I'm saying? Because other countries you can't even do that. It's a lot of countries you can't even be gay. So for one thing, I fought United States for doing a lot of crazy things and taking that what you call it, what's the word I'm looking for? But they're making it easier and making the world lazy is what I'm saying. It's just like with these robots we were talking about the other day. When these robots come in, they're not gonna be there for emotional support. Them robots are there to, you know what I'm saying, to really make you lazier to do all the work for you, basically, because you don't want to do the work. People just don't want to do the work themselves. So what it is they got this where, oh yeah, if I can just type this in and tell this to do that, oh yeah, he gonna wash my dishes, he gonna cook for me at 7 o'clock, and it's gonna make sure my car got top. Who wants to do that shit when they can do it they damn self? You know what I'm saying? But okay, once again, like I said, it's handicapping the world. So with this trauma issue, it's all because of the world is being handicapped and everybody thinking that it's so easy. and it's supposed to be a certain way, and it's not. And I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit. I don't want to keep it, you know what I'm saying, keep it too long. But my take on it is, I just feel like, man, we gotta just get stronger minds, bro. Because all in all, we getting weaker. You know what I'm saying? We might be learning some powerful stuff. We might be advancing in the world, but our minds are actually getting weaker. You know what I'm saying? Because we relying on so much stuff and we getting complacent. And that's how accidents are starting to happen more and more. You know what I'm saying? Plays has always played a big role in our lives of death. Well, we got to figure out a way to eliminate that instead of trying to eliminate each other, especially this racism thing. We got to get rid of it. One way we can all come together, get rid of racism. That's my take. Let's
Interesting,
go Steelers.
interesting statement, interesting take, man. Because it was good, man. Because that's an interesting perspective you brought to the table, as it relates to relationship trauma and the things that women do go through. But only thing I say, man, is that men go through trauma as well, and it just kind of depends on the person and the situation, because that can be, maybe the percentages may play that men put women through trauma a little bit more than the other way around. But I'm pretty sure that the numbers say that it happens on both sides for sure. But yeah, man, I mean, that's still an interesting take, because all the rest of the fellas, including myself, we brought our own little take to it, our own little spill to it, and I think we've almost covered all points of it. You know what I'm saying? And as the definition was speaking, that was on the screen a minute ago, it can be it can go as deep as an ancestral loop. You know what I'm saying? And cause physical illness, mental illness, and repeated generational patterns, and is stored as a low frequency energy that must be consciously observed, felt, and released in order to heal. I mean, that's just like, the end part of what we've been saying. That it can even go as deep as generational patterns, and and I like that touch, because I'm always on that spiritual touch. To me, that goes into the spiritual side of it. Because if it goes to generations, that means that even your ancestors, you carry some of the trauma of your past from your ancestors through your DNA. That's actual proven fact. So yeah, I mean, this is I like
Epigenetics.
this. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is, yeah, your DNA or your genetics. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind that on that. But yeah.
No, it's called epigenetics.
So
Hey, but
go ahead.
Marcus, I was gonna say, man, if you don't mind, I mean, interject.
Go ahead.
CJ
Go ahead.
wanted me to invite a guest to the show. From a female point of view, you know what I'm saying? We got Coco here. Maybe she could speak on it for a second if you don't mind, or speak on the trauma.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. Y'all good. Welcome, 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 welcome to the show, Coco. You've been a guest before. Welcome back to the show.
Pleasure, greatly. Appreciate you guys considering, my point of view. Congratulations, fellas, on um, how far you guys have came thus far. I'm proud of you guys and success so far. Um, as far as
Thank you. Thank
trauma
you.
is concerned, I'm yes, sir. But I embrace trials, tribulations, and definitely triumphs. You know what I'm saying? Everything that has transpired in my life, I appreciate. I have a 12-year-old son that kind of asked me a personal question, and said if I could, rewind time, what would I fix, or would I change things? And my response was no. Everything that I've endured in life, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? And I take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I pray to God about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everything that each fella has touched base on, um, all makes sense. Whatever we have went through in life, it's made us who we are, but it's actually, any situation that we've been here, let's learn from it, anything that's not good, out of that, lesson well learned. But as far as affecting people and how they're dealing with it, it's a spiritual thing. As Marcus did mention the definition of the term. It refers to our conscious mind. And that is what we're all made up of. It's this conscious world that we're in. So I'm too strong. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate my strength and my power. But as far as drama, you know, um, as far as female, and our opinions on being independent, or should I say single mothers, it all goes back to the system. Everything that we are related to or referring to goes back to this traumatic system that is deterring our minds. It's a lot of distractions going on, and this whole topic is about COVID. And when we use the term trauma, it's no coincidence that we are referring to the COVID-19 epidemic. Okay, so it's I mean, I can sit here all day, but if you guys see, it's it all relates to COVID. I moved here from Indiana in 2018, and COVID.
Look like we lost him for a minute. Man, that was interesting where she was going. But yeah, they'll probably be right back. But yeah, fellas, Diggy, CJ, like I said, Professor, this is our kind of round where if we got anything else to add, we go ahead and add that. Then we're gonna move on to the next topic here shortly. If SG get back in, we're gonna let him finish his take, him and Coco, and then we're gonna move to the next topic. But if anybody got anything else on this one, I think we pretty much been knocking this one out the park, fellas. But if anybody got anything else, I see you about to chime in, Jr.
I just want to mention the veterans why we have a second man. When you see one man, just know that guy been through something, and it's not a game most of the time. So just appreciate those guys, man, when you see them.
Yes, sir. I don't know how I glad you brought it up. Yeah.
I mean, definitely, it definitely wasn't their fault that they had to go and risk their lives to serve our country so that we won't lose our lives. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Uh, but for them, but for the ones like Muhammad Ali that stood up for something, you know what I'm saying? You gotta appreciate them guys too, man. Because sometimes it's bigger than just going to war and saying, all right, I'm the bigger guy. I got the bigger gun. You know, um, you know, I feel like those guys should get some type of awardment too, because being locked up ain't what I'm saying, that's not good. That's not good for your health, especially because you decided that you didn't want to do something that you didn't have a cause in.
Yep.
I like to say being a vet myself, and other fellows know the vets, in the same stream. Hey,
Losing your son. Can't hear you right.
me better.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like to say, shout out to the vets that also,
Wow.
you know, we put out our money where our mouth is about this game. That people understand, hey, it's not about trying, it's about doing. It's about the results. If you ain't got no results, I don't want to hear that talk. Not it's no it's always about the results. You see me, it's about the results. It's not about what I'm talking about. It's about what I am doing, what I'm performing. And that's what we got to get our mindset about. Not, I'm just going to do this and I want to do this. No, do what you're doing and do it and have results. And don't talk about it, show the results. That's my take.
That's a good. Give a shout out to all like that every because went through war, family members, but as a lot of you know, on the bridges and stuff like that. It's like I always my war, and we all because I'm a well, I didn't pleasure of serving him. Oh, he did. And he tells that best thing you can do is think that.
You're getting a lot of background chatter. I can't really hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The best thing you can do. Everybody mute their mic while you're not speaking, if you can. So yeah, like I said, the best thing you can do to a vet is thank them for their service. And SG, you guys were cut off. If you and Coco want to finish your tape, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next subject after this. Who we got there in the house? This that's Spider. Oh yeah, let's introduce Spider to the show tonight, everybody. And Spider, real quick before SG go, we was just talking about trauma and how it affects us as people, and mainly how it affected us after the COVID-19 pandemic. And getting ready to move to the next topic, but we'll let SG finish, and then if you got a take on it, of course you can go ahead.
I do apologize for the I left off, but needless to say, I was just touching base on everything that you guys were saying, about, when you read the term of trauma, it referred to your consciousness. So, the whole makeup of, life is, this conscious matter, that we're in. And, like I was, saying before, the phone messed up, um, I take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I thank God for it all. Everything that I've been through in life, I appreciate it, and it's made me who I am today. So as long as I have power with, wanting knowledge fed to me, then I'll, be great at the end of the day. As far as COVID is, concerned, it refers to, what's going on right now. It's a distraction. It's been in the making, and it's traumatically affected a lot of people. But as long as you are aware of what's going on, you just keep feeding your mind. But yeah, just always be good to people, have great intentions, and learn. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate what you go through in life. Just change up what you ain't doing right. So that's basically all I said. I appreciate the time, you guys, and subscribe to their channel and like.
Bad. Appreciate you, Coco. We always appreciate any guests that we got. Um, Spider, I see you walking off, but I don't know if you want to speak to it tonight or what, but brother. But that's our topic, and we're gonna talk about that for probably let you close it out if you want to close it out on trauma, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch it up and talk about Big Meech and the BMF family, him being released, and we're just gonna speak about that whole situation. And then our third topic, we're gonna get into politics a little bit. We're gonna try to keep it PC. We're gonna try to be nice to each other during the politics little conference that we're gonna have. But go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, trauma is a dangerous thing, and I was just talking to somebody about trauma yesterday, and the helpfulness and useful the no the yeah the helpfulness and the uselessness of doctors who try to treat trauma. So my advice really to people that been exposed to uh, the certain types of trauma is that you are the best cure for you. Um, for whatever unfortunate situation, I believe that it's something that you have to come to terms with. If speaking to somebody is what you need to help you get off your chest, speak to God. Speak to yourself. Um, it may people may not agree with that. I mean, I'm not saying I got the answers or the right answer. Just stating my opinion. That is my opinion. I've of myself have been exposed to certain traumatic events. I didn't have to speak to anybody, but that's not saying that that's the way it should go. Some people they actually just that's the way they can, that's the way they handle they trauma. They have to be able to talk to somebody. And I understand that doctors. I mean, the way I see it is that they were trained to monitor, going over the years of recorded history of people being exposed to certain uh, uh, certain events or whatever, and they almost people almost pretty much have like the same response, and so they record that and they use that to try to diagnose a person and say that okay, well that's schizophrenic behavior or that's abandonment type abandonment trauma or something like that. So I say that to say that those people don't have trauma themselves, so they can't relate to the broken people that they're talking to. Uh, if I'm a mechanic, if I've never fixed on the car before, somebody bring me their car, how would you expect me to fix the car? Um, but I consult, go on YouTube and watch and read the manual and be like, oh, okay, yeah, you just connect those wires, and ooh, I could have did that myself. So that goes back to my point. Is like dealing with for trauma. Talk to yourself. Try to you got to heal from within, and I guess you can use doctors if you need help in assisting with trying to heal from within. But the best thing to do, from my standpoint, the way I see it, is to first recognize and admit what happened, whatever the traumatic event was. Um, Once that you can visualize and see what actually took place, then if it's something that is not going to be uh, like an emergency situation where you need to call for help or like life threatening and stuff like that, and if you're going to accept it, then just accept what happened. Use it as a learning experience. Try not to put yourself in the situation again, and then start doing things to build self up, strengthen self up for to keep oneself away from that type of encounter, whatever took place or whatever. And yeah, like I said, just try to be yourself, but it save you a lot of money because you go in there for them sessions. those sessions ain't cheap, and then you come out, you finish. All you did was like you think, whew, I got that off my chest. And they probably give you some breathing exercises, or well, like I said, I've never been, so I can't say what happens after a person comes out of a meeting with the therapist or whatever. But I'm just assuming. I know several people that they go and talk to a therapist, and then they start talking to me. So you can use friends or just somebody that you can trust. You just lay it all out. If that helps you get it out, and then be the all right. I heard all your mic feedback, so I know that means that's my time to go. So yeah, you can have. That's all I want to say. Thank y'all.
Appreciate you, Spiders. Appreciate you, Spider. As everybody, all the brothers here, man. We've all gave good takes on that, man. We went a little long on the trauma subject, but I think it's a worthy subject to go a little long on because it's something that we definitely needed to talk about. And every point I think we've been knocking it out the park. Everybody that talked, and just like you, Spider, some of your take was some of my take at the beginning. So I like what we said and how we all hit every point, and even the guests that we had. So appreciate y'all on that, man. And the next subject, like we said, man, we're gonna move into talking about BMF and the Black Mafia family. Big,
Hold on. Before you
go ahead, go
before you
ahead.
do that, pardon about it. I want to go to a commercial break. Uh, if y'all Patron, y'all need to contact me. My email is charlessilence70 at gmail.com for more. You want me to put your product out there for more advertisement? Just holler at me so I can put y'all out there, get on there. this the first time, this the last time. But hey, if you want to get there with Patron. All right,
Yeah,
back to the
Hey,
registration
that's the
program.
trauma right there. That Patron. Yeah, go on get us Patron.
yeah, that's some good tequila, man. But yeah, man, BMF, man, Big Meech has been released, and they released my guy into a halfway house. Not sure how long he has in the halfway house, but they ended up giving them 30, uh uh the found, however you want to call it, Black Mafia family status, and they had a good what about a run almost to where the family did some things, and I like the name itself because, of course, I'm black, and and they always say that, it was some kind of thing about blacks couldn't run a mafia, we couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I see we did it. And you know what I'm saying, that makes me proud to even know. You know what I'm saying, that we tried it, we did it, and you know what I'm saying, that blacks could come together, and we've been coming together a long time, but our stories haven't been told like other stories. So not to go too left, but yeah, I mean, they say the BMF family had hubs in Atlanta and also in LA. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta was one of the biggest places for BMF for the family because they even started getting into the rap game or to the music business back in, like, I think the early 2000s, right before Big Meech got indicted and stuff like that. But yeah, so I I just spoke on it a little bit just to kind of get us started on it, fellas. I'm pretty sure you guys got an interesting take on it. Everybody want to speak on it. Not sure who'd like to go first, but Spider or Ziggy. I know what you guys really being in that area, being around the area, being from the area. Well, not from the area, but being in that area a long time. You guys might have some interesting information on. So, if one of y'all want to speak first, or whoever would like to speak first, go ahead.
I mean, I just be the first to say, welcome home, my guy. Uh, things have changed. Keep your head up. I'm sure you won't have no problem falling in somewhere. Chocolate City been waiting on you. They miss you, man. So keep your head up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, Anybody else? I see you trying to chime in, Mr. Professor.
Yeah, I want to give a little take right quick. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
my thing is, is he gonna get out and actually make an impact on the world, or could he bring back to some of the communities? Because a lot of these communities lost a lot of their family members dealing with drugs. So you know what I'm saying? Not to uh, be on straddling the fence on both sides, but I mean after you know what I'm saying, serving your justice, you know what I'm saying, and finally um being released off of off off of lockdown, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, a person should have a story or a testimony to tell, and either you're gonna come out better or you're gonna come out better. And my question is, you know what I'm saying, I'm hoping that he got a plan now. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody don't have a plan that they can just straight go execute like that, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just hoping he got a better plan than getting locked up again. Because I hate for another black man to be in the system and going through and being another statistic.
For
So
sure.
that way, if he do get out and do some good stuff, then maybe they'll think about letting some other guys out. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like jail is really taking a big hit on our community. A lot
Hey,
of kids growing up without dads and females having daddy issues. That's a big cause of a lot of females in this trauma deal that we was just talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if Ray wanted to go, but I got to want to pick it back off what Ziggy just said. Just talk Ziggy. Because
I
what
was
is Meech gonna do? But go ahead, Ray. I ain't want to cut you off. I hold my thought.
real quick, just real fast. So I just want to say this right here. We can talk about all the trauma and all that. Frank Lucas was before Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? Like the dope game will always be the dope game it is. And somebody gonna fill that vacuum. Big Meech filled the vacuum. Along with his brother, you know what I'm saying, Big Terry, they did their thing. They ran a nation of drugs because they had the plug. When Pimp C got mad at Young Jeezy and said that Young Jeezy was getting it for 16.5, Young Jeezy wasn't getting it for 16.5. Big Meech was getting it for 16.5. It didn't matter about all that because Jeezy rapped about Big Meech. That's what he rapped about. That's wrong because of Big Meech. We can be on this politically correct shit, or as MJ tried to eloquently say it, the PC way, but it is what it is. This game is what the game is. All this trauma and things of that nature. Look, you can put a tag on it and call it COVID, and you can call it other stuff and whatever. Y'all here, I'm here because of what took place before we ever appeared here. We are the descendants of the people that was transported over here to this place, to this land that was taken away from other folks, that was discovered by some people that said they was new folks. So we can talk about all the other dynamics and all that. But in regards to Big Meech, it's good to see the brother get out. But did he cause a lot of issues? Of course, because his hands was tied in to the drugs. Whether he wanted to make plenty of money, and he put plenty of people on. They didn't have a college education. They didn't have hell a high school education. And because of that, he's looked at as a god. Some people do
Right,
what you do.
right. Real quick, man, your sound going in and out. I don't know if it's your connection or what, but your sound going in and out.
Yes.
Well, look, I wanted to say this, man. And Ray, you're exactly right, man. But look in this brother eyes, though. You know what I mean? If I look into this man's eyes, all I see is trauma. Now here we have this man has so much money, man. All the
Mute your
fancy
mic,
cars,
Ray.
millionaires.
Mute your mic, Ray.
Yeah,
All right,
millionaire,
go
man.
ahead,
He had
Kenny.
all the fancy cars, all the money. I remember when I was in Jackson, Mississippi, I seen BMF come through there one time. Nothing but Lamborghinis at upper level one time when they called it upper level. And they had the whole what is it, North Side Drive blocked off with Lamborghinis. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. And I remember back in, when I was in high school, the brothers used to come by like, yeah, Black Mafia family. They had like the little blue t-shirts with all the gangs and stuff on the back of them. And they were saying that all us coming together. So that the man kind of inspired the world. But yeah, but look at all the
Right,
trauma he caused. You know what I mean? All the money he made, he still did all the time in prison. I don't know if he lost all his money. I'm pretty sure he ain't he got all that money stashed in them stash houses like that though. But what about all the families that was smoking all that dope and all that stuff like that? We can't glorify that, but at the same time, y'all right, man. We gotta learn. If he do come out like Ziggy said and preach something different, that'll really, what I mean, show the world that, like Ray said, we was put in these positions, but we can heal from this damn trauma, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't come out and say, yeah, man, Big Meech, he this and that, he this and that. But yeah, let's talk about them 20 years. Let's talk about the 30 years. Let's talk about how did he get out. You know what I'm saying? Did he have to go informant to get out? His brother went informant. All this type of shit. You know what I mean?
So what you saying? So really, you be proving the point that prison is necessary for non-violent offenses. Whether it be drugs or whatever. That prison. So somebody was saying something about our people locked up and everything. Well, if he had to go enough all that time and then come out and now he a changed man, or well, I ain't gonna say change because I don't think it changes you. Mentally you just grow. But you come out and you start preaching something different, then they're gonna be like, oh, that's the solution. Let's just lock everybody up, and but that ain't the
But
solution.
I'm
I just
not
want to
saying
say
that
that.
at all, though, man. I never wish jail on nobody. On my worst enemy, man. That ain't what I'm saying. But let's look at the reality of the situation. The man did go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I can't, say nothing. But people have went through that stuff, man. You know what I mean? And is it really worth it? You know what I
Hey,
mean?
so hey,
At the
fella,
end of the day, he
real quick,
balled out.
yeah, my man.
But who balling harder?
Real quick, SG and Spider, we ain't got CJ's take, man. We got to get everybody's take, and then we can have that lightning round where everybody go back and forth like that. SG, I wasn't sure if you were finished, man. If you finished, go ahead and finish your take. But let's just get everybody's take, and then we can go that lightning round, and then we're gonna move on because we don't want to go too long on this one either. That's why I want to
Yeah, I
get.
feel it. Go ahead, CJ. We love to hear from the official guru, Paul Head Matt.
Yeah, I appreciate your brother's time, man. But my take on it, man, it's nobody that's ever been in that game, man, that ever ended up besides in dead or in jail. We glorified that, man, because we saw that was a means of an end to get out of the situation we were currently in, man. We don't sit back now as 40-year-old, 50-year-old men and glorify drug dealers because we've seen brothers can get it legally if you just go do some work, man. And you can still make you a nice bag, man, where you're comfortable for yourself and your family, man. So that's really all it's about. So now that we've seen better, we've done better. It's about growth and development. It was a part of something I grew up in, man. When I was coming up, it was BGD, but it was about always trying to get better and improve yourself, man. And if you're not trying to do that in the year 2024, you stale, man. You out of time, man. You need to get with it. A new
I just
program, man.
I just want to ad lib that and say big facts. Go ahead.
And that
Yeah,
new block your brother knocked out.
Yeah,
oh
that
yeah, I
that.
appreciate you, brothers. But yeah, that's my take on that, MJ. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Cause like you guys said, man, they had affiliation with Mississippi because of that family right there. You know what I'm saying? Growth and development, and and like you said, Skinny, they used to roll down up through there on us like that, man. And even if you look it up, you see that Mississippi was one of the affiliate states. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, you guys are doing a good job, man. Like we always do on it. We'll go ahead and let anybody that wanna, kind of who had anything else they wanted to kind of add to it, Spider or Ziggy. If you guys had anything you was thinking about, you want to add to it, let's go ahead and get it. Are y'all good? Mute your mic. Okay, we good then. We good. Oh, there you go, Spider. You had anything you want to add to it, Spider? This our lightning round, man. But real quick though, man, we doing a good job on it, man. If y'all want to go ahead and swap over to that last topic, we can. Because we looking at our time. Where we at on that timing? What is that? Almost an hour. Yeah, we close to an hour 58 minutes, and we want to make sure we keep it interesting for our subscribers and our viewers to make sure if they were here for that last topic, we get to it. You know what I'm saying? But interesting discussion on BMF, man. But like I said, anybody got the last take on BMF? Go ahead and give it to us. SG, CJ, anybody?
Now I just want to say that y'all remember, man, when we were going to Jim Hill, that's when Big Meech and them came out and they had them T-shirts going around Jackson. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
They
that.
had the BMF shirt and they had all the gangs, Vice Lord, GD, Crips, and all that stuff. And see, that was before the internet. That's what I want these kids to know. We didn't even have no internet, no Instagram. That's how profound, this dude was in his organization. They, what I'm saying, they really was trying to do a movement. I mean, I went to Atlanta one time. They had it wasn't no Instagram. They had the billboards and stuff. And I went down and I seen it. I was like, man, this got to be the most craziest thing I ever seen in my life, man. I actually seen a billboard to say BMF, the world is ours or something like that. As soon as you come into Atlanta, straight kingpin style, man. I mean, what y'all think about that?
I do remember that vividly coming up.
Yeah, me too. I remember seeing that too, man. It was interesting to me. I was like, man, because I was trying to see who it was and what they were talking about. But with me being hard headed and how I was like, well, man, I ain't gonna gravitate too much to something that I ain't already fucking with too tough. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it was. But I learned about it, and I was like, well, yeah, you can get down with something like that. But like as CJ was saying. We mature now. We grown men, you know what I'm saying? And we were high schoolers then. We were all in high school, man. So, our minds were different then. And we can see things a little clearer now. We know that, you can't, like you said, you can't glorify drugs and all that. But at the same time, I also see the fact that, you know, you're a product of your environment. And, we all got to embrace our dark side at some point because you in this world and this world it's gonna test you to that point to where you're gonna have to embrace your dark side at some point. And how may you do it? And how would you get back to the light side? How would you get yourself right? And you know what I'm saying, and get back to living right and doing right. If you make it to these great ages that we're starting to make it to, your 30s, late 30s, 40s, and 50s, then you start to get mature and you start to really see that yeah, man, I mean, that ain't nowhere to live, and you can live better, and you can also make money from doing other things like being an entrepreneur in other ways other than being a drug entrepreneur, so to speak. But that's what it is, though, y'all. Getting ready to transition to the next little topic and the end another topic, man. We was gonna talk about the election and what's been going on with the election, and also as it relates to them going on a Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan was supposed to. I'm not sure if this is gonna happen because I don't believe Kamala's gonna show up because she just don't show up, and I ain't even being funny with that. I'm not trying to be political to that, but she don't show up to things, and if they're both invited, I don't think she'll show up. But it'll be interesting if she does, and they both go on the podcast at different times and they have a different conversation. I'd like to see what they talk about, and how they can both say they're gonna try to win this election, because that's what it's all about. They ain't doing nothing but what you call it, campaigning right now. So anything that they're both doing right now is campaigning. They're trying to win the election. And I'll just say this before I let somebody go. One profound thing that I have seen is back in the days when I was in my 20s and my teen years and early 30s. I said, man, voting can't be real. That shit don't count. It don't matter. But I'm thinking now that I'm in, my 40s or whatever, my early 40s. Now I'm thinking right now that voting is real, because the way that these people trying to, go at each other's throat, and potentially this man is about to take a bullet or like to took a bullet for it. They trying to kill him over voting and being a president of the United States. I wouldn't say all that is fake, if because this is just about votes. I'm seeing the thing that these people are doing for votes, and I'm talking about on both sides. So that's telling me that the voting is kind of real. So I might go on and cast my vote in. I was a young man and I didn't believe that, but man, I'm seeing that shit. It must matter in some way. So I'll let you guys go ahead and speak on it.
All right, before y'all speak on, let me go ahead and drop this video for the chat so we can go and get this looked up in Just
That'll
Talk
work.
Show.
That'll work.
Just one day after Donald Trump reported that he will indeed be appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience, news has broke stating that Kamala Harris also has plans to be on JRE, making Joe Rogan the first podcast to potentially host both presidential candidates. This wild turn of events has not yet been confirmed, but would without a doubt solidify Joe Rogan as one of the most influential people in the world, assuming he's allowed to ask real questions and talk for an extended period of time with both candidates instead of just an hour of the same old talking points.
Yeah, and there you have it, man. Interesting little clip about what they're gonna do on the Joe Rogan show and what they may or may not do. SG, I know you are the professor, man. Whomever like professor, look like we lost a professor, but whomever like to speak about it, man. You can go ahead, man. I mean, like I said, we're gonna try to keep it PC, politically correct, or whatever they want to call it. And the main thing we want to do to the fellows who wasn't here earlier is not no interruptions, especially on this first round. Let whoever's going go ahead and get that spiel, out if you want to go ahead and discuss whatever you'd like to discuss about it. So we good. Whoever like to go first.
I'll go ahead and go in. I don't know. We lost Ray. Somebody get back in the chat. Tell him to try to get back in. On the whole thing with the podcast, these candidates have been going out here doing something different. Trump has did like a bunch of podcast appearances. He went on Logan Paul. He went on Lex Friedman. He went on Theo Vaughn. He went on Value Entertainment. He even went on Flagrant. That's one of my favorite podcasts with Andrew Schultz and everything. And so I guess his son Don Jr. They've been telling him, man, this is a way to touch the basis, of touching the people instead of CNN and
Can't hear you, SG. We lost you. Lost your sound.
you can't hear me.
Oh, I got you now. Go ahead. Go back.
Yeah, that's basically the reason I want to talk about the podcast. What do y'all think of this new form of campaigning, man? Where they going straight to the consumer. We got a podcast, Just Talk Podcast, you know what I mean? We'd love to have Trump on this thing, you know what I mean? To blow up. But we're going straight to the consumer with it. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that?
Yeah, like Spider said, CNN, Fox, whoever want to invite us, we'll be glad. We'll be glad to make an appearance and give our opinion on political situations and everything. So yeah, for sure, for sure. But what I think about them appearing on podcasts is like what you said. It's the new wave. It's the new way to reach the people because the age of the internet has changed the way that we kind of do business. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It just didn't. It's just a new way of reaching the people has morphed. Like what you just said earlier, before the internet age, you had to use word of mouth. You had to use, I don't know how, it seemed like it was almost impossible to reach people state to state, you know what I'm saying, before the internet. Now, thinking it back in retrospect, I know it was just like word of mouth and people talking about it and the rap music. Now that I think about it, most of that was done through the rap music. You know what I'm saying? You hear about a lot of this stuff through people talking about it. So but yeah, man, I mean, as far as the podcast goes, yeah, we'd love to have Trump or anybody. At this point, we'll have Kamala on. We'll ask her some straightforward questions and see if we don't get a word salad or two. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we definitely into that. And what I say is not to, I guess a lot of times you got to stay unbiased in these things, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that you don't ruffle any feathers. So I probably would just do that and just say that like I said, your vote does matter, to the people out there. Go ahead and cast your vote. Vote for the candidate that you want to win. I'm leaning a little to the right, honestly, but hey, it is what it is. Everybody vote for their interest because what I'm saying. Some people say the lesser of two evils. I say you clearly can see which one is evil and which one is not. But do your own research, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Look into your policies that you may like or you may not like, and really do some research and don't take what just you hear and word of mouth all the time, because sometimes you can get misinformation, like they say. You can get misinformation from sometimes sources that you think are credible sources. So that's why sometimes it's better to check and recheck to say, okay, well, I seen this source, let me check it again and actually see what's going on. So yeah, that's just my little take on it real quick. If CJ or Spider, if y'all got a take on it, we love to hear it.
Yeah, man. I just want to say that I just want everybody to go out here and vote. It does matter, like MJ was saying earlier. Somebody died for the right to do it. So don't just look at it like it's, oh, I'm not gonna do it just because. If you have the ability to do it, please go down there and do that and exercise your right. Don't use I gotta work as excuse, vote absentee or whatever. Because I'm not here to politically charge anyone. I don't. I want everyone to do their own research. Everyone that's speaking here, this is their own opinion, people. I don't want you to take what any one of us say, you know, with any validity. I want you to do your own research. I want you to get your own basis of research. That way that you can make a sound and conscious decision. Because this is just all of our own opinions, and everyone has one of them if you have a voice. So I just want everybody to go out there and participate. Rather you have to do it by, going to cast your ballot at the courthouse because you have to work on November the 4th, or you wait in line with everybody else. I know the last election the line was so long. I advise you bringing you some peanuts or being there at 7 o'clock straight up if you plan on getting through in a timely manner. You know. But that's my take on it. Go out and support, your candidate with your views that line up with your views and your family's values, and what's going to line up with what you need in your household. I don't know what tax bracket you live in, man. So, do what's best for you and your family.
That's what's up, CJ. Interesting take. And I like the approach, same way I was saying, everybody can do their own research and kind of see exactly where they want to go with it. But yeah, that's what's up. Spider, if you have a take, man, and you'd like to give it on this, man, we'd love to hear it, bro.
Yeah, I say this, being realistic, that sometimes these candidates that we get, the policies that they have, it may not directly, it may not directly align with what would be good for me and my family, because there are millions of other families, and there's no way to kind of counteract all them variables. But at least a candidate that's aligned with uh, the best option for your community as a whole, that would, because there are policies that can be mandated for a community where it may not directly affect me, my income, or my situation, but is around me in my community, whereas we can all still eat and and enjoy some benefits from that policy. So, I mean, that's what CJ was saying was, I agree. I mean, because that's the way of that's getting people aware and getting people involved with voting. That's a step forward in that direction, because you got to do research. Period. Regardless if it line up with you or if it don't, but you at least need to know what's going on. Period. You don't need to be one of the ones not in the loop. You need to be in the loop, because you being in the loop is whether it's a small voice or a big voice, it is a voice. And it's because a lot of the little people don't say anything because they're intimidated, or they was like young MJ, uh, didn't really, wasn't really bothered into it and everything. Um, the it's now's the time that people need to uh, get more involved in having say so of, or at least just having a voice and speaking on how they feel and letting them know that they're tired of their situation. And if people like if you and I'm gonna start the scenario game. If you have an employee and you working them a certain kind of way, a certain kind of way, a certain kind of way, I say you just working them hard. He's working hard, working hard, working hard. If he never asks for a raise, he's not gonna get it. Now the employer may feel like, like, man, he do a lot. I need him. I like him. He's a hard worker. He's dependable, here on time. You know, all those good things. And in his mind, he know he needs you, and he probably thinking like sooner or later he gonna ask for some more money. And they already have to make their mind up like, if he do, I'm gonna have to give it to him. But if someone be like, man, I really can't afford to pay him. I hope he don't. But don't think that they not, they don't think about that. But I'm saying that to say that government is the same way. If you don't say anything, you don't feel like you content. You don't feel like, oh, you straight, you good. So if you don't say nothing, they not gonna say nothing because they not in it trying to make everything fit for every individual person. But if somebody speaks out and speaks on things, then they know if they able to hear their voice, if that voice is carried far enough to them, then they know they somebody, and you want to be recognized as somebody. And I say that I'm just gonna go a little bit further in case that went over some people's head. Everybody can't get to those high channels to contact those type of people, but it really don't take much. There's a office for all of our elected officials. And man, I could say so much on this stuff because it's almost really like putting the cart before the horse. But because people really need to be more involved in the politics of government in those individual states. Everybody be worried about the presidential election, but the presidents really don't. They they don't dictate the policies in every state. Each state has its own government. So it's a big deal about the president because they are the head of they're the head of state. But what about when I say head of state? For the ones that new to politics, they head of the country. Just leave it like that. But in the particular state that you live in, your representatives and your senators, those are the ones who really make the laws. The president can say, well, look, I want to do this right here for Asian people, or I want to do this for black people, or I want to do this for white people. So Congress can turn around and say, nah, we don't agree with that. The president can say, well, I want to go to war with this country because I don't like how he doing rules. Congress going to say, no, we don't approve of that. And guess what? What Congress say gonna go because that president can't do. There's nothing that he can just make his mind up and do on his own that it have to be followed through. Now he can do not laws, but he can put into effect. Huh?
Executive orders.
Say what?
Executive.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. He can. Yeah, executive orders and stuff. But there's only so many of them that's gonna really affect the country as a whole, especially like individual families and stuff like that. But yeah, so but the laws that's on Congress. So people really need to be involved, looking at who are the candidates for your senators and your representatives in their particular state that you live in. Don't know. I mean, I, and I ain't trying to put nobody on the spot, but most people can't name two representatives and two senators or two congressmen in their own state. They got signs that they campaigning for it, and then not just them, the judges. Because you elect these judges in the position, then you turn around and fall victim to some a crime that it may not be a crime, but just an incident. And you go before this judge, and you don't know nothing about this judge. He was voted in. He was unfair to you. You're like, man, how in the hell did this river be in the position to do it? Well, because you didn't vote. And right here where it mattered at, where you live. But the president can't come dictate the courtroom of it. So I don't it's overshadowed because of the president, him being the head, the commander in chief. But people need to start. They need to start small in their community. Find out who you drop all the way down to your damn alderman and your alderman, your city council, your supervisors, and then the next level, mayor also, and then your next level, your senators and your representatives, and then you go to your United States congressman of that state. Those people right there. Now, if you go through those channels, and I believe in the 7 degrees of separation, and you know what, that'll be a topic for another show. The 7 degrees of separation. I'll get into more of that, but I'm guarantee you, in that state that you live in, there's somebody that you know, or somebody that you know that they know that knows an elected official, a representative, or city councilman, or mayor, or whatever, that you can reach out to, and they can get the word up, and they go through. That's a chain of command. Everybody knows the chain of command, and they can go up to those congressmen need those votes. They need community votes. That's why they go to churches and stuff like that. So if you're a member of a church, um, and that congressman is going to those churches needing votes. Well, just think if you are a person with with a voice, you are what's the word I'm looking for? Self motivated individual, and you know you're a leader of a certain part of your community and everything. Well, the first place you want to go to is a church, and it's not hard to find out what church that a certain elected official go to. And if your complaint is valid, you get the whole church on board. Well, that elected official, like, I need this church. A church usually have hundreds of members, some thousands, and you can go to several different churches because they're going to several different churches. They're not just going to one church. And if you have a valid dispute or complaint, or a certain policy and everything, and you wanted to be heard, and you say, look, if you want our vote, then we need something done about this right here, or this right here, or this right here. We don't think that this money that we paying out, these streets are being paved fast enough, or cleaned up, or canals and lakes and stuff that we have. We don't see that, or parks. We don't think that stuff getting cleaned up or good enough. We need somebody else in there dictating that. They gonna have to hear that because they need them votes in their community. That's where it started. So I just don't want to get too far into it. But hopefully, ones can understand where I'm coming from. That to directly affect you and your family, it ain't gonna start at the presidential level. It's gonna start right here at your local
All
state
right.
government.
That's what's up, dog. That's what's up. Yeah, you went a little long, but I understand, man, because you passionate about this subject, and also you very informative, bro. Because to bring that side to it, to let us know that yes, we that it's really more important that we vote in our local officials and our local judges and all that. I 100% agree with that. And just to give a little background, I already know, I used to campaign with you, brother. So, I know one of your family members used to be, a local representative. So I already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? So
I remember that too. We used to
yeah,
go out and knock them doors and stuff with my granddad.
yeah, yeah,
George
Yeah,
Smith.
that
You
was a
got a green
throwback right
shirt too.
there.
yeah. So that's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so but I definitely appreciate that aspect because like I said on Just Talk Show, we try to make sure that we hit every aspect of the conversation. And with you giving your take on it, man, you pretty much knocked it out the park. We also made sure that we touched our little takes on it. You know what I'm saying? Main thing, like what we saying, just everybody do your own research and make sure you do some research. And like Spider just said, man, go to your local elections, vote in your local people. That's what's most important. Once you vote your local people in, especially like Congress, because Congress is going to affect what the president can do or can't do, and Congress comes from the state, So it is what it is on that. Let's just get informed, and we're going to start doing better as a people, like you said. Also, he said in his long soliloquy or spiel or tape, let's be a people with a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are not voting, that means you don't have any representation and you don't have a voice. I mean, we want to make sure that everybody has a voice and everybody gets represented. So whether you go left or right, you know what I'm saying, make sure you go ahead and give your take and your vote on this election that's coming up here real soon. And with that, SG or CJ, if you guys got anything else, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this show up, man. And I appreciate you guys for the night. Everybody that stuck with us this long.
I just want to say, everybody, I appreciate your time. Get out and vote, like and subscribe to our Just Talk cast. I want to say thank you for Spider coming out tonight, and MJ and SG and everybody else that was on, Ziggy and
The
Professor.
Professor Ray.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm gonna give a shout out to the chat. Everybody like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like button. We on the road to 500. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get monetized. We're trying to take this show to big places. But yeah, as far as the politics go, y'all exactly right. Your local elections where you really can affect it. With the federal level, you know, we can't compete against the lobbyists and special interests. You know what I mean? They're gonna come back and say that, you know, they're gonna promise for your vote, but at the end of the day, they're gonna go with the money. As far as Trump and Kamala, everybody got their opinions on that. We're not trying to be divisive. Everybody got their opinions on who the best candidate. But it's out here. This election's going down. 16 days left. Get out there and vote, and we'll see. If they don't cheat again.
They scared to stop it still. 2024, huh?
Stop it still, baby.
No,
fuck. I said I won't get political, but yeah.
Hey,
you vote for BlackRock.
We just talking.
Vote for BlackRock.
And
how Obama gonna say? You know what? Let me stop it.
Yeah, we do it. Give us our little outro music.
Hold on. How Obama gonna say what?
How Obama? Okay, I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
How Obama gonna say? You better vote for a black man when she didn't even vote for a black man. She got a white husband. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Just talk.
I mean, wait a minute. How you? Because it didn't matter if it was black or white. They voted for the person that had the best policies for their community.
That
ain't what he said. You trying to be racist? You little racist.
That's what Obama address the brothers. Obama did say, "Let me address the brothers." Though, real talk.
Yeah. He ain't think I was gonna clap back like that, did? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Hey man. Hey look. Hey look. It's vote for your community, right? Did she vote for her community, or did she vote for BlackRock, the special interest group? You know that's that's the people that's controlling the whole world right there. He the number one investor.
Good vibes only, man. Hey, shout out to
right, yeah, you know, yeah.
And remember,
go Kamala.
Through every dark night,
go Kamala.
That's a bright day. Through every dark night, that's a bright day. Appreciate y'all, man.
I'm with it. I'm with Kamala all the way. I'm with it.
Appreciate y'all. It's been the Just Talk Show.